the nature of the beast. Alright, so I've got all that going. Cool. Everything's back up and running. So we do have, yeah, so you get the idea of how little time we lost. We still have our southern highway is good. We still have most of this. Yeah, so we lost like literally in the middle of running this road over is when it went down. But mechanic-wise, the engine is much quicker, just graphically intense. Your CPU seldom jumps over 25% playing. Yeah, so the big thing that's happening is because I am streaming to multiple platforms, I am taking a pretty bad hit on my CPU from doing that, doing the multiple levels of encoding. And then City Skylines does seem to have a decent amount of computational heaviness. It actually hits your GPU really, really hard, which is not normally what you see from simulation games. Most of them tend to be what we refer to as CPU locked, which basically means your bottleneck will be your CPU. Or CPU bound. Yes. Versus this one seems to be a lot more heavy on your GPU. Yeah, so we just missed me zoning here. How are my temperatures? Yeah, temperatures are good now. Yeah, it's actually, I was also multi-streaming to TikTok at the start of stream, but TikTok's streaming software is beyond murder to your CPU, so when I saw a temperature start to climb, I just killed that, and we're just not doing that. Hey, there's those apartments that we got again. So yeah, so we only lost like a minute or two of just zoning this, building the apartment, and I didn't think we got to anything meaningful after that. I think we put down storage for our recycling. This is the first game you've seen your 7900 XT hover at 95 to 100% usage. Yeah. You had to restart Twitch like 4 times to get it to work right. At the same time as you crashed, you sprayed root beer all over myself because apparently I fell while it was in the fridge. Yeah, that happens. Alright, so we also have our fancy new building here. And just like before, we're just going to go up to this neighborhood over here. And this time we're going to put in this address to begin with. To deal with that. Alright. And then we have trash problems. And we were dealing with that by just going... I'm going to put 1 on each of these this time. And unfortunately, I can't just be like... do that. And what this is doing is expanding how much trash these can keep in, like, as a buffer and storage. That should help. Yeah, so you get the idea of, like, if people were watching the numbers, we were sitting at about 170-ish viewers, and then with the crash, we're down to about 111. But that's just what ends up happening, is a lot of people who are chilling, what'll happen is the stream won't elegantly drop and come back. It'll be like, there was a problem, and until they choose OK and to come back, that's just not what's going to happen. So that is one of the reasons why those disconnects hurt so much. Or not disconnects. Disconnects are actually not that bad. They could be a problem, but a disconnect usually drops and it comes back, no big deal. But full-on computer reboot, if I can't manage to get back before the disconnection protection runs out, and it ends the stream and comes back, that's when it's real rough. Alright, so we've got all that. We're continuing to expand. Our south highway is done. We're not going to be able to do the north highway anytime soon. Let's check our resources, see if we have more, because we're needing more industry. Let's check our resources real fast. So we do have all this ore I can pull down here. We got another farm area up there. We got another farm area over there. We've got oil up here. Let's connect that oil. Because we can take that highway over here where it's going to go eventually. How long does it take a month past this? I have no idea in real life time because I've been fast forwarding a lot of this. Because a lot of these games, once you stabilize, there's not really a big reason not to just fast forward constantly. Some of them do. Some of them have like tricks they'll add to the game that, you know, it'll end up doing stuff that damages, or like things that can go wrong, as I should say. But as far as I can see, like, other than disasters, there isn't many of that kind of thing. Oh, there's an arc connection in this end. We won't worry about that right now. Oh, I don't want it to be parallel. There we go. Alright, so we've got that. But yeah, so I don't actually know how long a month lasted the game because there's fast forward and all that. And honestly, I find I spend a lot of the time fast forwarding. So the curious thing here is let's actually fill in this side river because we want the oil, and I believe you can't build on the water. So we can go here. And we're not going to worry about how smooth or nice it is yet. I'm just going to go over here. It can be all rough or whatever, and we'll just hit it with the smoothing tool. I'm going too fast, which is why it's getting all scuffed, as you can see right there. We'll smoothing tool it away. One thing I'm appreciating is the old, say, Skylines, if you did this, water would just, like, shoot up out of the ground because it wants to be somewhere as you fill it in. And we're not seeing that phenomena here. Okay, is that far enough where not get the oil so you can have like the little pocket here to have a little bit of character? Nope. There's still oil over there in them there hills. Alright, so we can go over here. You're not too worried about that, and all the rest is fine. So we will go to soften terrain. To give stuff a little bit of an edge. Get like the weird little pockets out of here. And just roughing it up a little bit to keep it interesting.
Take a sip. What's the worst that could happen?
I can do it in a moment. There we go. So now, it at least looks a little bit better than just having land filled it all in. It's not great, but like it's got like a little bit of elevation here and there. Okay, so with all that said, we're gonna do this the lazy way. So I'm going to go right here to the industry. We're going to go to oil. It's going to take me 2, maybe 3 different places to set this oil up. So let's go ahead and turn that this way. Don't even worry about the other part there. We're going to go back to this tool. Same deal over here. Don't do that. And one last one back here. This one will face the other way because I'm not going to worry about having the arc connection for it. Okay, so we've got all those set up. So first thing I need to do is connect them to some roads. Cam froze? Alright, I'll do that in just a second. Oh, it's still set to parallel. Don't do that. Alright, so we'll just have to do like a little smoosh here. Makes the road cooperates a little bit. Alright, let me unfreeze the camera again. If the camera keeps causing problems, I'll just turn it off and call it a day on that one. Since it's being a little bit of a pain right now. And I owe a hydrate. Alright, so these, I'm just going to have it go straight on out over the water. That way I can turn around and go like this.
A driving advisory has been issued for the immediate area due to poor road conditions. Please exercise caution if you must drive, and try to stay off the streets until conditions improve. This has been a local public service announcement.
This is Second Moon with J. Thomas Hornbuckle. Before we dive into our next selection, I'd like to take a few memento moris to elaborate on the formal structure of the symphonic work. For our newer, less able listeners,
Okay.
first, we will be dancing through the al dente section before entering the slower largo movement, finally, then savoring the vivacious antipasto movement. So, without further ado, let's raise the curtain.
Yeah, and like I said last time we set it up like that, that's obviously an intersection we don't want to use long term. But until that builds up, it's not really a big problem for me. So we're just not even worrying about it.
If you're thinking about hitting the streets, you can expect delays on the major roads, especially during rush hour.
Good to know.
Okay.
Jim. Seems like
And so
everybody's in a
now
hurry
we
to
just
get
need to hook
somewhere
up
fast.
all the plumbing and all that.
worth
Why don't we have
slowing
any
down.
plumbing?
And if you can, plan your trip outside the rush.
Oh, I don't know. I'd rather wait an hour in traffic than to have to start thinking about everything all the time. Besides, if I did that, I'd never get anywhere.
That should have water connections on it. Why do they not? That's that road I built, so I made it out of that road, right? Yeah, I must have accidentally chose highway. I didn't intend on choosing highway for these. Well, no, it shouldn't be highway, because I shouldn't have been able to place those up against it if it was highway. Oh, I'm still set on highway. I'm being so dumb about this. It's fine. Get sorted out here in just a second. Now we go through. It's so weird that's like lowering and raising. It's fine, we'll deal with it on the other side. That's fine, we can leave that one spot highway. It's good enough. It's not good enough. Oh, we made it worse. It's terrible. It's fine. Don't look straight at it. It's fine. Okay. Now let's get that set up. So we're gonna bridge this over here. So we're just gonna bridge it that way. So that's all connected. I should be able to just anchor that right on over. So our water and sewer is connected. So the next thing to do is to connect our power. Oh, that's not what I want. I want the little cable. We were zoning industry around the oil fields? Maybe. I haven't decided quite yet. Okay, so we'll connect this one to that one. And this one we can connect straight on over to you. Oh, did the water not connect? What's going on that our water lines not connect? Sure, whatever. It's connected now. That's what matters. All right. So now we go over here and do this shenanigans. All right. So you can go ahead and pop up there, do this, do that. Drop you here. Okay. So that's one of the oil fields done. Scoot you just up there. All right. Go up there to that edge. And we got that one. It doesn't need to be perfect because it doesn't make that much of a difference, but you do want to have as much space as you can covered. Just as a general thing. Which is no surprise. Alright, we can drop you there. A tiny little spot in the middle that I will not be able to use. That none of them can just barely can't reach. Alright, and we can keep this going and keep this one down here. We're all good there. Scoot you over a little bit more. Alright, so it feels like we're taking about as good of advantage of that oil field as we can. It's not particularly well placed, and the poor people who have to drive out here for work are gonna have a miserable time. But you know, that's a them problem, not a me problem. So, sure. Alright, so our metropolis is going well. Industry is still kind of doing well over here. We're still not having much of the way of traffic slowdowns for this. So I might just bolt on another row of industrial over here as well. Even though I don't really have a good way of doing that, but that's fine. Okay, that'll probably do well enough. Alright, sure. So we go industrial, paint, paint, paint. Go ahead and contaminate our groundwater. No one worries about contaminated groundwater. It's fine. Honestly, that geothermal's been doing work for us. Alright. No one's complaining about the rent being too high. We are still in the negatives because we massively increased our services, which is fine. We're getting a little bit of pollution up here, which is from these mines down here. I don't really have a great way of dealing with that. Cool, so this is still emptying out. Those are all processing the garbage at a reasonable pace. How is that showing up on here? Yep, so we're still good there. So we should start gradually emptying out our trash, which would be great. Eventually we'll start caring about our river and not polluting it horrifically, but that's not today. I could see putting a dam way back here as well. It wouldn't matter too much, because it would lower this down for a while, and then build back up, and then lower this down. You'd go and just cycle it. Alright. The traffic here is pretty much fine. Honestly, traffic over here is pretty much fine. Alright, what's going on? Where did the nightmare thing happen? You only need to worry about if the river catches fire? Yeah, that's fine. It's made out of water. It'll just put itself out. That's how that works, right? Definitely not containing alarming amounts of flammable liquid that makes it able to burn within itself. I have the sneaking suspicion that somewhere in the city, I've got an absolutely ridiculous traffic jam because pathing bugged out again. Let's check traffic. Okay, so we do have a severe backup here because the cards are being weird about how they're moving around again. Supposedly that has bad traffic on it, which I'm not exactly sure how that is the case, but okay. Yeah, so it's this spot here is the one that's being problematic there. We have a car wreck. Yeah, so it seems to be dealing with itself. Like, it's backed up a long way, but it does seem... Like, why are you the way you are? So, I wonder... If we pop over here, and this is probably a mistake, and go highway, and change that to 3... switch that to 2. That empties down to 2. If that'll just, you know, just work. It's so ridiculous how bad they are with the merging thing. That said, it is going fast enough that that will empty out to it, so it should be okay. Alright, look at the new game. I'm enjoying it a lot. We have been having problems with, like, crashing the entire computer, but I think that's because of heat problems. Like, we're definitely well within a range of what my computer can handle temperature-wise. Where we crashed a bunch yesterday, like 4 times. We've had only one today. Which is just, like, 30 minutes ago. That said, I wasn't watching closely because for like the other 8 hours of the stream, everything went fine. So it could have been like the temperature slowly crawled up. I wasn't making a difference in one. Is it possible to answer that in a few sentences? So you got a bunch of stuff like the citizens actually have stuff going on. So I can actually look at my citizens, see an individual citizen, what they're doing, where they live, like all that kind of stuff. It does take a lot of the stuff that is in 1 with the DLC and makes it all in the base. It's not all there, like you can't do the fancy parks and all that, but you can do a lot of it. A lot of stuff that was required mods to make it work and make it nice is just bundled in now. It's not it's not
This has
something
been
you
a
have to
local
download a bunch of
public
mods
service
to do it. Like, we're running completely
Pending
unmodded.
updates to our
The entire
power grid,
progression
the
has
city will be
changed. It's not
experiencing
based
rolling
on
blackouts.
citizen
Urge the
count.
public
It's
to
now on
remain calm
XP.
during these breaks
The
and
map
so
is
to
bigger,
follow the guidelines on
but
the city's
so like these
website
tiles
and
aren't the same
plan
size as the other one.
these
They're
temporary
smaller,
events.
but it's
This
kind of
has
you
been
get
a local
more
public service announcement.
more unlocks at a faster
That
speed,
was truly
but they're not as
superb.
big per unlock.
Masterful counterpart. You're listening
So
to
it is.
Second
It
Moon
does
Radio,
have a
station of
considerable number of
dedicated
differences from one.
Don't touch
The roads just have the power, water, and sewer just under them for
This
regular
just
roads,
in
like
from
highways
traffic.
don't.
If you're thinking about hitting the streets,
So
you
it
can
is-
expect
It
delays
is,
on the
in my
major
opinion, a
roads,
meaningful
especially during rush
iteration
hour.
on the
Good to
design.
know, Jim. Seems like everyone is in a hurry to get somewhere fast.
Sorry.
It's worth slowing down. And if
Okay,
you can,
so
plan
you can
to
actually
stay
have yourself like a
outside.
small city that
Oh,
can
I-
level up to the
I'd rather wait
maximum.
an hour in traffic
It just
than to
is
have to
very
start
slow to
thinking
do
about
so.
everything all the time. Besides, if I did that, I'd never get anywhere.
How is our
We're-
schooling
we're
doing?
live, and we're getting reports about a traffic accident somewhere in the city.
Road maintenance services have already been dispatched, and traffic flow should return to normal. But if you're planning a quick trip out, you might want to wait a little
Does
while
Vanilla have
until
natural
everything
disasters?
clears up.
Yes.
If you're in it, you already
Like about the
know.
only things that are
Well,
like
use the
majorly
market
missing is some of the stuff where it would like add your monorail to this to this to this. Like those kind of things are missing. It's also missing some of the stuff like again where you have like the parks where you can put like all the fancy little pieces together to make a really fancy park, or the fancy airport, or the fancy whatever. That's missing. But yeah. Can we still slap nukes our citizens? Meteors? So I haven't actually checked to see if I can trigger disasters, but they do have disasters. I haven't seen meteors, I haven't seen earthquakes, and I haven't seen tsunamis or that. I have seen tornadoes. I have seen fires. How did my brain turn that into nukes? So it could be that we don't have as many different disasters, but that's just it. It's like it doesn't necessarily have the full size of the disasters we used to, but it does have a bunch of them. Where do we want to put the universities? Not way out here. That feels like something it should have just like right off the main trek over here. Like, cause that eventually is gonna go around. Like maybe put it up here. I can see that because then we could access it through the rail. Like, have the rail, have the subway, have the highway, have all those ways. Hopefully the meteors will be added soon. Building around the Creator's Eye is really cool. Yeah. I mean, they're going to be adding a bunch of DLC. It's Paradox. It's what they do. That's just their model. So you know it's going to be coming. It's just a lot of people are like, oh man, they've shaved off so much content. It's like, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's way more than we had in the vanilla, or sorry, not vanilla, on release of, say, Skylines 1. Like, it's way more than that was. But, at the same time, it will also give them... It is not as much content as, say, Skylines 1 with all of the DLC. To be fair, some of that DLC wasn't my favorite. Like, to me, the only DLC I bought from Paradox game that I was like, that DLC, I kind of wish I hadn't bought it, was the airplane DLC. That to me was a genuinely disappointing DLC. I really was underwhelmed by that one. Granted, it was cheap, so I wasn't like upset about it, but it was still kind of like, all right, for as good of a showing as you've had up till now, this one's a miss. All right, where am I gonna be able to put this university? Part of me is thinking about like leveling out an area here, and just like having a cliffside area for that, like the medical one. Because like we could make that fit. It's not gonna want to do it right now because the elementary school's there.